Yeah, so right now we're at Don Mueang Airport, and yeah, we're gonna go to Malaysia to meet some people. Like we're going to go meet ASEAN police, and we're going to stay there for 5 days, and then we're going to Brunei to meet some students at the international school for around 5 days. It's gonna be a 10-day trip, and it's going to be really exciting.
After our first trip to Myanmar, we packed our bags a week later to travel to Malaysia and the capital city, Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia has what's called a federal parliamentary constitutional monarchy form of government, which basically means that Malaysia's head of state is the king, whom is elected every 5 years by the hereditary rulers of the 9 Malay states. The head of government is the prime minister. Malaysia is about half the size of Myanmar and about 2/3 the size of Thailand. But Malaysia's territory is divided into two almost equal land masses, which are called Peninsular Malaysia and East Malaysia and Malaysian Borneo. Malaysia has a population of more than 30 million, making it the 6th most populous country in ASEAN. Historically, what we know as Malaysia consists of many smaller kingdoms, which fell under British rule from the 18th century onward. Malaysia gained independence in 1957, and in 1961 became one of the 3 founding member countries of the Association of Southeast Asia, which in 1967 became ASEAN. Malaysia's economy, which traditionally was based on natural resources, has grown steadily for the past 50 years and is now driven by industry, tourism, science, and commerce. One of the most obvious signs of Malaysia's economic growth and wealth are the world-renowned Petronas Twin Towers, located in the heart of Kuala Lumpur, and we'll tell you more about them later. For now, let's start with a trip to Malacca, one of the earliest and most important trading ports of the region. Peninsular Malaysia was part of Sriwijaya Maritime Empire between the 7th and 13th centuries. Malacca, located on the southwestern coast of Peninsula, next to the Straits of Malacca, became an important commercial center and port. First conquered by the Portuguese in 1511 and then by the Dutch in 1641, Malacca became part of the British Empire in 1824. We had a chance to explore some of the historical sites here, including the Stadhuis, which was built by the Dutch in 1650 and now serves as a museum of history. Christ Church, constructed in 1753, also by the Dutch, and a replica of a trading ship.
Everything is awesome! Everything is cool, and your father was in.
Yeah. Wow.
Now we're eating breakfast and we're getting ready for our first interview, the ASEAN or the ASEAN Police.
The very first interview we had was with ASEANAPOL, a regional organization to coordinate police activities throughout ASEAN, and Pan was nervously preparing for the interview.
What is ASEANAPOL?
ASEANAPOL is an association which was created amongst the ASEAN nations to bring together the 10 police chiefs and also their members of the police forces to work together to collaborate in the region for 2 basic purposes, i.e. to foster cooperation in all areas of criminality, and number 2 also to bring together the expertise within the police forces to be shared for training and capacity building to improve the quality of police work within the region. As we look at this region, it is not just crime per se, it is more of what we call transnational organized crime. And when we speak of transnational organized crime, we are looking at crime across borders within the region. For example, drug trafficking, arms smuggling, human trafficking, bank fraud. And we have now, with the advent of the internet, we have cyber crimes where people don't have to move anywhere but yet crime can be committed across borders.
Can you give an overview of what ASEAN does for ASEAN?
ASEAN, as I said, combines all the police forces of the region, and officers and directors are selected from the respective member countries based on their experience, based on their background, so that we can assist to coordinate efforts between member countries. So we form what we call a communication mechanism, a liaison, and also to coordinate the various activities decided upon at the yearly conference by the 10 chiefs of police.
What authority does ASEAN have and how this authority work?
We have got 10 member countries, right? Each country is sovereign in its nature. Each country has got 10 different set of laws, meaning to say they have to practice their various laws within their country. But when we practice certain efforts regionally, we have certain conventions, certain protocols. So we collaborate regionally, but we do not interfere into the sovereign affairs of the various countries. We share our criminal records, we share our criminal activities within the 10 member countries, and from that we conduct joint operations.
What is transnational crime?
Transnational organized crime is very wide in nature. It is crimes which are done by groups of individuals, oftentimes called syndicates, which operate not only within a certain country, but they operate globally, across regions, across borders. Not only the physical movement of goods and people, but with the advent of the internet, they move across borders through cyberspace.
And what type of transnational crime exists right now in ASEAN?
Okay, within the ASEAN region, I would say that all of it happens. It's only a matter of scale. For example, we have drug trafficking within the region, right? We have, of course, when you have drug trafficking, you have arms smuggling. You have the mobility of people getting involved in human trafficking. We have also what happens within the region also in bank fraud, credit card fraud, things which happen on cyberspace. And the latest development which we have in the region is that, although it has been happening for a while, we are now beginning to address also wildlife crime.
Will ASEAN ever help to target corruption?
When we talk of corruption, corruption is a dimension which is always there when we talk of transnational organized crime. In fact, it is the major inhibitor to enforcement. So, of course, we have other specialized agencies, right, like the Anti-Corruption Agency, which handle corruption. But in so doing, we have to ensure that police forces within the region maintain their integrity internally, maintain their discipline internally, and also make sure that we have procedures which minimize the abuse of power.
Will there ever be a time when ASEAN might replace the police from each country as a single ASEAN-wide police force?
Basically, ASEAN as an organization, as an association, is not intended to replace any of the police forces. Each of the police forces have their sovereign powers within their country, and we try to come together, not working in silos individually in the respective countries, but working together. We can share our best practices, we can share our success stories, and we can pool our resources in capacity building to fight crime on a better perspective.
What do ordinary citizens need to know about ASEAN?
For the public, they need to know that this organization exists, right? And we have what we call our website. Currently, we have a website where you can come and look into it as to what we do. We always post our activities, our roles and functions on the website. And at the moment also, we are embarking to go further in that we are trying to enhance our social media presence so that the public also gets to know what we can do. But basically, what we need to do is create awareness that there is a platform for the public to interact with.
Could you describe one day in the life of an ASEAN agent?
If you're going to use the term ASEAN agent, we do not have actually what we call ASEAN agents. We have members, senior police officers, policemen within the various police forces in the region who work on a day-to-day basis to combat crime. So we are not what we call, or what you see on the media, or what you see on popular terms in the movies as agents. We don't do that kind of work, but we do policing work in the sense of working together within the region.
Hey guys, welcome to Malaysia. My name is Kim, and today we are in Petronas Tower in Kuala Lumpur. and this building is 451 meters, and this building it have 88 floor, and the kind of building is skyscraper. And today we are in the 41 floor at the Petronas Tower, and this is our view.
As Kim mentioned, we had a chance to visit the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur. Construction started in 1993 and the towers were complete in 1996. From their completion in 1996 to 2004, they were the tallest building in the world and today are still the tallest twin towers. The towers are home to the 12th most profitable company in the world. Malaysia's government-owned oil and gas company, Petronas. A visit to Kuala Lumpur is not complete without a visit to Petronas Twin Towers.
Okay, so hey guys. So now we are at the Thai embassy at Malaysia, and now we're going to have dinner with the ambassador assistant, and we really want to meet them and have some, maybe we have some conversation with them. Yeah, so yeah.
This is the factory, so it's the main office of the embassy, and the other side is the consular office, where passport, visa, legalization issues take place. And where I'm gonna bring all you now to is the residence of the ambassador.
While in Malaysia, we also had a chance to visit the Thai embassy and learn more about Thailand and Malaysia relations. Invited into ambassador's residence, we received a briefing about Malaysian history and political system, including an overview of country's parliamentary, constitutional, monarchy system and political leaders and parties, Malaysia's geography, and an overview of religion in this largely Islamic nation. After the briefing, we were treated to a wonderful dinner. And Kawi, always looking to try new food, learned that some food is not as bland as it looks.
And I can't speak now, the spice in my tongue.
We didn't just spend our time in the city, however. We also took a trip to the jungle about 1 hour from Kuala Lumpur. It was a great chance for us to relax, enjoy some fresh air, and just relax, while also discussing topics as varied as history, culture, language, education, and growing up.
Well, I mean, I actually had the rare privilege of living 7 years without electricity. And I tell you, that's a very, very special experience because you come back to your senses.
Now we are changing our clothes for going through the jungle.
For 7 years, I just went, gave my senses a big break. And I realize now that a lot of people have become so convinced that if the whole system broke down, no internet, no power, all hell will break loose. No, I would say heaven will break loose. Heaven will break loose. I grew up in Batu Pahat, which is a very small town in Johor. When I was 17, I was sent to the US as an exchange student. Because when I was in Malaysia, as a student, I had a lot of problems with teachers. They just refused to acknowledge that I was smarter than them. Sure. But in America, the teachers gave me A+. And I realized then, that's all I needed was positive feedback, right? Yeah. And that's what I appreciate about America, is that there, you do get a lot of positive feedback, much more than you get over here in Asia. In Asia, there's this patriarchal mind that you mustn't praise people. you get big-headed, then you demand more salary. And that's how the whole culture gets retarded in Asia. The patriarchal mind does not believe in giving kids hugs and A+. What is very apparent to me is that, for example, in this country, I have many friends, and all of them are at least bilingual, if not trilingual or quadrilingual. The few I meet now and again who are monolingual, they are stuck under a very strong cultural imprint that they cannot free themselves from. They have a Malay saying, the frog under the coconut shell, and when you speak only one language and you have access to only one way of looking at reality, it becomes a disadvantage.
Guys, what happened?
Raining! Raining! It's kind of like rainfall.
Raining, rain. Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing about language, I'm very relieved that English happens to be the first language for me, because now they're spending millions in this country trying to get people to speak correct English, and it's a bit late. Now we did have very good English teachers back in the 50s, 60s, but we went through a period of intense nationalism. They wanted to do away with all reminders of the colonial era, and that was a big mistake, because now we want the English back, and it's going to be 3 times harder. This idea of culture is a bit irrelevant. Culture has to keep moving. To me, what I'd like to see is the Orang Asli, for example, they can't go around in loincloths carrying blowpipes. It's culture, yeah, but it belongs in a museum. So we have to decide what is positive about culture and what is negative, and keep all the good bits. I believe that if you want to have some kind of belief system or ideology, we ought to choose ecology as a universal belief system, because if the air is poisoned, if the water is poisoned, whether you're a Sikh, you're a Hindu, you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, a free thinker or whatever, you die. You can't argue with that. If you drink from a poison well, you die, no matter how many times a day you pray or whether you don't pray at all.
After our trip to the jungle, we came back the following day to visit the British International School and spend some time with other students to learn more about Malaysian culture and language and the daily life of students in Malaysia.
I'm from Malaysia. In Somalia, the Malaysia will bring like the rule.
So what's the group?
Everyone must know Bahasa Malaysia.
And now we had a chance to practice our language skills. And of course, we love to relax and learn and participate in games. Bye everyone, hope to see you again. Malaysia is a Muslim country, and no visit to Kuala Lumpur would be complete without a visit to the National Mosque and the Islamic Arts Museum. Here we had a chance to learn about the history of Islam in Malaysia and the role this religion of peace plays in the daily life of the people of Malaysia.
Okay, so now we're at the Muslim Art Museum in Malaysia, and this is what we call the Kiswa. So when there's a Hajj going on or the pilgrimage going on in Mecca, there will be like a black cube that everyone prays to, and this is the cloth that hangs on the black cube, which like encode the laws of the Quran and the Islamic teaching.
My name is Bob. Now we are in Malaysia. In this trip, I enjoyed most about walk. So yesterday we walked in Malacca, in Chinatown. We walk and see the history in Malacca.
Malacca, there is a lot of history there, and it's like old city.
I like the Twin Towers because is the very good designer in the building, and I like their road because it's very beautiful.
I enjoy most is the Melaka, or the old capital city in Melaka, and the city here is very improved. They're all like Thailand now, or more than Thailand, I think, the technology. Because now in Malaysia they have more 4G than Thailand. In Thailand they doesn't have all the country doesn't have 4G yet. Only some of the city. Yeah, the train is more good. In Thailand they don't have. I think the train that run that far don't have any air condition.
In Malaysia, I enjoyed almost everything. I like the town, I like the city, I like all the malls, and I like the food here. It's fantastic. Yeah, I think so. We're getting better. Sometimes we set up the camera faster, and yeah, we get more official in interviews.
The place that I enjoy the most is the school that we went in Thursday, because they teach us very well, and we can see that how they study